Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Penny Bloom Podcast. It is I, Colton Robertson, and I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. We're fresh off Andor. It's time to fucking party. Welcome to the Andor Afterparty. Episode 4, titled Aldhani.
They got titles this week.
Yeah,
I don't know how fast it updated for the first 3.
The first 3 was like next day.
Ah, I see. That's why I didn't know then.
Yeah, it was Casa for episode 1. That would be me for episode 2 and Reckoning for episode 3. And now we're here to Aldhani for episode 4. And I'm going to do the scene by scene a little bit different this time. Going to kind of break it up. All the stuff on Aldhani, all the Cassian stuff, and then all the Coruscant stuff. Separate the Mothma and the Imperial ISB shit. So just kind of bear with me here. It's not sequentially how it occurred in the episode, but it is. It all
sequential in parts.
In parts.
Just in different parts of the world. Who knows?
Exactly.
These could be going on at way different times.
Who
Probably
knows?
not.
Probably not. I don't think we're dealing with a Westworld sort of situation here.
No.
Speaking of, got a new puppy this week.
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the name?
Bernard.
Oh, let's go, dude. Is it inspired off of the Bernard?
Well, I was like,
or is it a Saint Bernard dog?
It's not a Saint Bernard. We already have a
that'd
Saint
be
Bernard,
hilarious.
actually. Her name's Philly, but this one's a little lab and Australian Shepherd mix, all black. I was like going hard for a fictional character name, and the one like it took a couple days to name this dog, and finally today my mom started calling him Bernard, and I was like, yes, and it's like it's inspired. I posed the idea with Bernard in mind.
Okay.
But I didn't go, it's a Westworld character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I was like, it's yeah.
Magic.
I put a few out there. Cobb.
Ooh.
I was like
That's a
Cobb
good
Vanth.
Cobb.
I don't know. Interesting little.
Cobb.
I went Finn, Poe. I threw out Andor, Cassian. Threw out all these. Threw out a bunch of Star Wars ones.
He's gonna come up to you one night and go, "Have you ever questioned the nature of your own reality?" And you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, I knew it! I knew I got the right name."
One day I'm gonna wake up. He'll be in my face. He'll go, "Bring yourself back online."
Uh-oh. Yeah.
That'll really fuck my day up. But are you ready for Andor episode 4, my friend?
Oh, I am ready.
Let's get it. So, we start this episode fresh off of the Reckoning. Last week, Cassian and Luthen making their escape in the Fondor shuttle, which Cassian is shocked can make a jump to hyperspace. He's like, "Yo, I've been in one of these things. What the fuck going on here? You real deal, huh? Who are you with?" He's like, "Oh, I know who you with. Alliance, Seps, Gorillas, some shit like that." He was like, all the same thing, huh? He's like, "Yeah, to me, it is." I loved this shit, and basically the same pitch Luthen gave him last week, just kind of, like, now you kind of last chance. I'll either drop you off or you can come on and fight these motherfuckers for real.
Yeah, I like how he said you have one of two choices. One, you can, join me, blah, 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 or go back to what you're doing. And then he was like, and obviously you could kill me and try to take the ship. I love how he said try to take the ship. And
yeah, I get the note that, like, we see later that the Fondor droid would not be a fan of him trying to take the ship.
Nah, yeah, that
he thinks about it.
That ship's got something special about it. And I don't know if it's kind of like a, how, what's the droid's name? That got uploaded into the Falcon and, like, became the Falcon.
L3.
Yeah, kind of like that sort of situation where it's like I don't know. It seems the ship has its own intelligence, and it's not just I don't know. Seems more something like that. I guess it is just a droid, but the ship it's the same thing, just in a bigger form
Regardless,
that
a
can
fucking
fly.
kick-ass ship.
Mm,
Kick-ass ship, kick-ass droid. Everything working well and for Luthen over there in regards to the ship. But the conversation they have here,
mm,
really good. The whole I'm offering everything you want all at once. He's like, what the fuck you mean? What do I want? He goes, to put a real stick in the eye of the Empire and get paid for it. He's like,
mm,
okay, I'll hear you out. What you talking about? He talks about how he's done fighting. He fought when in Mimban when he was 16.
mm.
And does this sound familiar to you? Do you know?
Mimban.
You remember the war sequence in Solo? That's
Really?
Mimban. Yes. So
Wow.
Han and Cassian were in the same place at the same time at some point.
Wow.
Very served him some food as he was a cook at
Well,
age
cook for the
16.
first 6 months, right? And then
Well,
or
he was
was
on the
it?
ground for 6 months total, and then he
Oh, okay.
dipped.
Okay. Oh,
Um,
that's right. He did not became a soldier. That's
yeah. He went ahead and got the fuck out of there. He's like, and I loved the fucking I know what people tell me, I know this about you, but everything else, I guess,
right. I
I
imagine.
feel, I imagine your hate.
Mm.
That shit was so hard. I imagine that no matter what you tell me or tell yourself, you'll ultimately die fighting these bastards. Wouldn't you rather give it all at once to something real than carve off useless pieces till there's nothing left? And ultimately, that's exactly how he goes out. That's it's kind of crazy watching a character's rise when we know the thing he goes out for. We know Cassian dies fighting the Empire in one of the most important moments of the Galactic Civil War. That's he's a fucking war hero, man. We're just seeing
Yeah.
him get there. It's fucking awesome.
I already put him down, Stellan Skarsgård, for the performance of this episode.
It's
Um,
not close.
okay, thank
This
you.
man's fucking
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah. I already put him down there for the performance. He might be my favorite character again at this episode for like a later development that we'll get to, but I already have him for the previous two. I
Well, I mean, we'll
might,
get to it too, but
yeah.
whenever he puts on the disguise and then he affects his new personality,
Oh,
I was
dude.
I loved that shit because
Yeah.
he's doing some real deal spy shit. He is living a whole other
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
for the Empire, for Coruscant.
And this is one of many, dude. This is just his Coruscant life.
Mm,
And pick out or landing sequence, blah, blah, blah. I guarantee part of the landing sequence is the costume you have to put on.
right.
So this dude just has outfits out the wazoo, different
Luthen, dude,
identities. Like,
I'm probably not going to go with him for my favorite character because I think I did at least once last time, but I will be going with him for
yeah,
performance because
yeah.
he's I tweeted it earlier because I couldn't hold it in. I like to keep all my takes limited to the podcast before Twitter, but I was like, dude, Stellan Skarsgård as Luthen is one of the greatest Star Wars performances ever. This man is nuts.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's so meticulous about things, and I guess there's a lot of things that I'm kind of jumping the gun on, but I just wanted to say I don't want to slot him in for the favorite character as of quite yet because we do get some introductions that are quite
we get some
really
great
really cool.
introductions.
So but
So
I'm putting him down there for performance, and then the line
I'm going to agree
the
with you there.
Imagine line that he had.
Yeah,
I
that
will
was
put down as my
strong.
favorite line of the episode.
Yeah, it's hard to get better than that, man. That was a damn good, just a great opening to the episode. Really set the tone again. First time I've stayed up till 2 a.m. for a show, and I don't know how long. It's been a really long time since I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna power through and I'm gonna stay up till 2 a.m. And I did, and I was like, oh fuck, buddy, yeah.
Yeah,
But
man, that would have been a fun one to watch at night. I don't know. It could be a whole different energy to watch at night because it's like a spy show, and the suspense is going to be building. Like I kind of watched it just in the right when I woke up is when I watched it.
I feel you.
But I
feel
don't
you.
know. No way I'm gonna actually wait until the night to watch it if I'm not up at 2 a.m. Like I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it in the morning. Yeah, like but regardless though, this little spiel seems to get Andor on his side, and Luthen's like, all right, so we got big stakes, big danger here. We're going to be stealing the quarterly payroll for an entire Imperial sector, and I'm prepared to pay you $200,000 or 200,000 credits for it.
That's like got to be barely any of that, right? Of an entire sector, the payroll, like how many people? I guess the money it's not just split amongst people in the rebellion. I'm assuming just the large portion of it will go to fund the rebellion. Is like kind of the idea, not to be like, all right, we're paying people, we're just going to split the money up. I think people reap some benefits of it. It's always good, but
and the music swell here. Whenever he was like, Nicholas Bertel is fucking killing it. When this music swells and he's like, we're stealing the quarterly payroll for an entire Imperial sector. Cassian Andor. It was just like building and building and building, and then it cuts to Coruscant here. I won't do that necessarily, but that's when it cuts to us seeing Coruscant for the first time in a long time in live action. I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi, we obviously get a couple views of it, but like the planet surface, like seeing the capital of the galaxy.
Just the cars flying. Like you get like just the shots of Commander Narc whenever he's walking just down whatever. Yeah. Like just when he's walking through the city. And like just all that we got the actual atmosphere of Coruscant in this episode. And it was
it's so grand, man. They're building the stakes, they're building the scope of the show. It's nuts. But another one of the things that Luthen offers Cassian as a down payment is a Kuwati signet blue Kyber skystone. So basically a Kyber crystal.
Kyber crystal? Like is it?
It's Kyber. It's made of Kyber, so it's a Kyber crystal.
That's that's worth a whole lot.
He says, he goes, don't accept anything less than what doesn't he say? Don't accept anything less than 200,000 for it, or is it like 2 million?
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't even realize he said a price in there.
He was like, if you're gonna do this, if you betray me and you sell this shit, don't take less than this for it. But just know just know that no matter what you get for it, it's worth more to me. And I need you to promise me you'll get it back to me. And I just want to be like, sign the death warrant. Luthen dead before he can get his hands on this Kyber crystal again.
I'm watching the scene right now. He just says like a lot more than 200,000. Like interesting. Yeah. Oh, 50,000. Sorry, no. Don't take less than 50,000. Wow.
Gotcha.
That's all? He's getting well, I guess at this point in time there still are a whole lot of Jedi, and you could just like any dead Jedi, you grab a crystal out of their saber. So I guess
the Empire's been mining for Kyber for a while for the Death Star now, but
so I guess not that out there. But nice to know a Kyber crystal goes for about 50K on the street.
About 50K
right now,
About 50K in Empire times, but eventually Luthen and Andor arrive on Aldhani, where we meet Vel. And Vel, we got another Game of Thrones Star Wars crossover. This is the Waif, the chick who trains Arya that she ultimately kills in the dark. This is the Waif. This is the Waif. But
nice.
But she's the leader of the team running this mission.
Wow, I can't believe that didn't click before. I didn't even get the familiarity little tingle.
Oh no! Like I saw her and I was like, "That's the Waif."
Man, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, how the heck did I not see that?
Well, and
now?
that's why I'm tempted to go with Vel for my character. I really like Vel. And I was tempted to go with her for the performance because do you know how much she had to overcome for me to like her? Like, the Waif is one of the all-time hateable characters, and I never thought I'd be able to look at this actress and see anything else. She fits perfectly into this role as Vel. It's nuts.
That's true. That is very true. Yeah, she did. She was very, I don't know, fits the rebellion spirit, like, perfectly.
Yeah.
She's, like, in a leader, you know, and she's, like, with the conversation that she has with Luthen, there's some, she's trying to become more and more of a leader, and you see it as she goes back, you know, to the camp and talk to all of them.
Yeah. And
better.
he's like, he's taking a mentor sort of position in her life a little bit.
Yeah, he talked to her kind of, like, look at me, like, whenever he, like, started to, like, yell at her.
He's like, this is not a game, man.
This is not
like,
a joke. Like, it wasn't necessarily disrespect. It was just like, yo, this is important.
This is real.
You
I
better listen up. Like, yeah. Like,
but yeah, she's not too excited about taking Clem on. That's the name Cassian adopts for the mission here after his father or his adoptive father, Clem. But yeah, she's like, it's a little late in the game, don't you think? And Luthen's like, hey man, he can speak a bunch of languages, he can lie his ass off, he's not opposed to killing motherfuckers. He's good. And he's like, it increases the chances of success for your team. And Vel's like, I don't think this is gonna go well. And he's like, yo, I was gonna basically put you aside. I was not gonna come back out here. You need to take this man on, and we're gonna be fine, okay?
you would have been out of job without this.
Yeah,
like without this guy, this would not be happening if it was just up to you guys. Which, I mean, it seems that it's like the job itself. I don't know. It seems that you would want kind of like a. I guess we'll get there. I'm jumping into it, but like, it doesn't seem that it would be like. I guess it is just the skill of Cassian that he is saying that increases their odds so much. Not necessarily just like the one more warm body they have. I think it's like this guy just kind of knows what he's doing, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm buying you critical redundancy. Like
he calls him disposable. And do you think that's like his legitimate viewpoint, or do you think that's like, I know he's not going to fail?
I think
I'm saying like to sell the point to her.
Yeah, okay, I think it's a sales point. I don't think I think if Luthen would prefer Cassian makes it out of this. Obviously, he gives him the Kyber crystal and stuff. He really wants it back. I think that was like him being like, hey man, don't worry. Yeah, he's a mercenary. That makes him disposable. You're good to do whatever here. But he's gonna ride for you. I know that for sure.
Good salesman. Yeah, he's a good salesman.
Yeah, and Vel's like, you fucking kidding me? A goddamn mercenary? We've been fucking eating scraps and shit, and you're paying a motherfucker to come fight with us? And Luthen's like, hey, you need this to work. Failure would be devastating. And frankly, I'll call the operation off if you don't take Andor. And Vel's like, okay, I'll take him. And they go on their little trek back to camp. And they're going to tell everyone that adding him was her idea. They don't talk about Luthen. That's not something that comes up. Luthen doesn't exist. So she is, to this group on Aldhani, what Hera Syndulla was to the Rebels crew in Rebels. She's like the tie to the rebellion. Nobody really knows. It's more organized. Nobody knows it's coming from a larger entity. They're just fighting on their own small scale.
Yeah. Okay.
And she's like, it's like later on, she's like, it's need to know, and you don't need to fucking know, you know, like, I got this shit. I know what I'm doing. I really like Vel, and I'll decide on a favorite character a little later because there's a few great character introductions here, but yeah, so she reveals that they are not only taking a quarterly payroll, but that they are going to have to rob an Imperial armory for it. And Cassian's like, what the fuck? an armory. He didn't say shit about that. That's not cool. That's not what I'm here for. And then she's like, well, it's what we're gonna be fucking doing. So you're gonna have to deal with it. Now we got 7 people. We should be fine. He's like, 7 people against a goddamn garrison? Are you kidding me? And then he's like, wait, shh. I was watching this at 2 a.m. So I figured out recently that I can connect my AirPods to my Apple TV and watch it with the sound directly in my ears, which is fucking amazing. Strongly recommended if you can possibly figure that out. But when this part came on and they hide and you can hear the TIE fighters at a distance, it's like really far away. And then, bro, it was a jump scare for me when they came, because it sounded like they were super far away, and then all of a sudden they were like, vroom, like right in front of us, and it was like, oh god, because it was like,
literally during that moment, I out loud went, that never gets old. Like the sound, that sound. I wonder how they made that sound in the first place. It really
that screech.
Yeah. Like, is it a human? No way, right? Like, no way it's a...
maybe it's evolved from I think it's like a combination of like some sort of jet engine. Maybe someone is screaming. Like,
if that's a human, that's insane.
It can't solely be a human. It's got to be combined with some other elements. But I'd be willing to bet there's a human scream in there. But regardless.
It's an elephant call with a car driving on wet pavement.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Dude,
Who
Ben
thinks
Burt,
of that? Yeah,
Ben Burt. That man's a fucking nut.
That's insane. That's actually nuts.
Yeah, but I loved my favorite shot of the episode actually comes at this part. It's when they're marching through the night. And you got the 2 moons in the distance. And like, frankly, the entire setting, when they were just like marching uphill and they were having that conversation and the landscape just goes on for fucking ever. You can see the mountains in the background.
Dude,
I was like,
it looked like Luke's solitary island, but everywhere. Like, this is what it looked like. Like, it looks familiar, but
expansive.
Yeah. Oh, it was so beautiful. So lush. So, like,
wonderful. I loved this place. Aldhani fucking rocks. And I hope, and presumably for the next probably 2 episodes, I kind of get the notes that we're probably going to be doing this in a sort of 4 3-episode arcs.
Yeah.
Kind of like the course of this,
a live action
Clone Wars type
Clone
thing.
Wars. Is this what? I don't know. Maybe that's how many seasons are they planning for this?
2.
Oh, and that's it. Like, and they're saying it's over, or
they're saying it is 2. It is 2 seasons, and season 2 will take us right up to Rogue One.
Oh, okay. Oh, I guess there is a hard cutoff here. Well, I guess for Clone Wars there is a hard cutoff there too.
But there's such a it slowly grew and grew. You know, like it was like, oh, the Clone Wars were 2 years. Oh, it was 3 years. Okay, maybe it was closer to 5. You know, like it was.
Dang, we really got something good going on here. We really need to expand this one out.
Yeah, exactly. But Andor, when they get there, not extremely well received. You know, as they're pulling up, you know, we see Nemec and Skeen as we come to know them. Skeen pulling up on Nemec, putting the gun to his head because he fell asleep during his watch. And he was like, hey, man, if you're running with this person or Saw Gerrera, they'll put your head on a spike and for a laugh.
Yeah, that was nice. Nice little... Felt warm inside when I heard his name.
Yeah, I love Saw Gerrera, man. He's a great character, and I cannot wait for him to grow up.
Do you realize one of these characters anywhere else?
Yes, Nemec is from the end of the fucking world. Have you watched that?
Oh no, that's it's the same character, but I know him from something else.
Oh no shit.
It's the Black Mirror episode that he is in which he watches like child pornography or something like that, and then a secret organization gets him to do a bunch of like, you know, deliver this cake here, and then it like eventually leads to him killing like one-on-one fight to the death with someone is like what it ends up being. But yeah, I only know him as the child.
You ever watched The End of the Fucking World?
No.
That's a
I'm
great
not.
show, and he plays a fantastic character in it. He's the main character.
Wow.
His
We have
name's
definitely
James.
two way different views on this guy.
Oh yeah.
I know him as child porn
Oh, he's still a little bit
masturbator.
of a psycho in the end of the fucking world.
Oh, okay.
This is the most sweet I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
He's a little sweetheart. This was
Yeah,
the
he
other
is.
contender for me for like favorite character of the episode.
Oh,
I love
okay.
Nemec.
Yeah, he's like, that's all I need to hear. Or like that one where he's like, if he's in this all the way, that's it. That's all I need. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
He's like, I can feel it from him, you know. And I like that he's not the only one who's like that. You know, Terraman's also like that. He's like he's got the brass. You can tell. You know, I'm not worried about how good he's going to be. He will be good. It's just the fact that he was brought in this late and we weren't consulted. You know, I can't do that shit. I can tell he's good. You know, I can just feel that from him. And Nemec's like,
they're making us feel really, really close and attached to him.
Yeah, Nemec's dead, dude.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's dead he's dying in this operation for sure. That I was gonna get there. I'm glad you brought it up. Yeah, Nemec's dead. There's zero doubt. He's the sweetheart who they all really love and are like, he's like the little brother of the group. They're all just kind of like, yeah, Nemec, take care of him, you know? But yeah, he's dead. He's dead for sure. And I'd be willing to bet he sacrifices himself for Cassian.
Oh.
Continues to radicalize Cassian further and further into the rebellion's corner and stuff. He finds even more people to fight for and stuff. Like it just makes a lot of sense.
It just goes to show like that the smallest little sacrifice to save one person could end up being what saves
the galaxy.
Yeah, it saves everyone. And like, I don't know. It's like that's what the whole cause is. It's not like that your one sacrifice has to be big enough to save the entire galaxy. It's just that as long as it was for the cause, you know, for the cause. But
for the cause. No, and I love that this show already, like this group we meet, Vel, Terraman, Skeen, Nemec, and Cinta, the nurse. I like Cinta.
Looked a little familiar. If I'm and they paid a little. She was separated, you know, introduced a little late on purpose. I feel. I don't know. If this is another like someone from Kenari, that he just does not recognize because it's been such a long time. Could it legitimately be his sister because he hasn't seen her in so long? Like, is that even a possibility?
That's interesting. I'd completely put that out of my mind. I don't think so. I get the impression she's been here a while. I get the impression they've all been here a while.
Yes. But, like, if the last time that Cassian saw his sister, which was whenever he was taken off of Kenari, say that was the last time he actually saw her, he has no idea what she looks like as a full-grown adult right now. No idea at all. And, like, he is not going to reveal his Kenari past to anyone because he's Clem right now. He's not even Cassian. So he's not even going to call himself Cassian. That's why he's Clem right now. Because if Cinta heard Cassian, Casa, and someone that resembled a Kenari, she could, like, put it together. I have a feeling that there's, like, they're going to get close because she's the one patching up his wound, and then he's going to be like, where are you from? And it's like, you know what? I'm not even Clem. I'm actually Cassian. I'm actually from Kenari. Because he's trusting these people more and more. And then she's going to be like, oh, no way. I'm from Kenari, too. I had a brother named...
For me, there were a couple things here. There was information released between episodes that the flashbacks we get are actually pre-Clone Wars. They're before the Clone Wars at all. So it's like Cassian's age is falsified just like his birth planet. You know?
wait a minute. If it's before how long, and the Clone Wars lasted for what?
3 to 5 years is generally the idea.
And that was... Well, there are 5 BBY, and that's... Oh. Yeah,
It's a good 20 to 22 years since that. Cinta looks to be about 20 to 22 years from me. And also, I feel like they went heavier with the Latinx sort of angle for Kenari, and I'm getting a little bit more of a Indian sort of Middle Eastern sort of thing.
I don't know. I guess I was thinking more of the implication of like them not wanting to reveal their Kenari like past because it's very secretive for some reason, and maybe that's just a Cassian thing actually. But it works even because she would just be open with it. Yeah, I'm from Kenari. She was open with it even in the brothel if it is his sister.
Right.
So like she would be open with it, and that would be Cassian's end to be like, no fucking way. Okay, I don't know, but I think I was just thinking of that moment, thinking that it would be really cool for the show.
That would be really cool. I will say it is of note that the actress's name is Varada Sethu. She is an Indian-born British actress.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that it was just like they were specifically saying Kenari were like.
Well, I think that's just generally the vibe. That's just generally the vibe I got, and I feel like they were trying to maintain that pretty, faithfully.
True.
But regardless, I'm excited for this whole group. I love all of them. You know, like I'm already like the fact that we've got these small cells of rebellion, like we've got on Ferrix with Brasso and Bix and. Everything they've got going on, Bix. Everything we got going on over there. We got the stuff on Aldhani with this crew. Like, I just love that it's small, focused, like it's like a bunch of different little arcs and rebels. You know, like it's fucking fantastic. But
and we better check in with all these groups. I mean, obviously the one that Cassian is in, we will be following very closely. But I need more Brasso. I need more Bix. I need more B2B.
We'll be back. We'll be back. Marva's still there, you know, and we get a little allusion to it later on. You know, they're like the Imperials will be occupying the Morlana sector. They'll be back.
True.
Like we'll be back on Ferrix before long, but could be a couple episodes. It could, but they I like that Nemec was like very, very trusting. He says his main concern is that Andor is a true believer in the cause, and Vel is like, well, he got paid to be here. Doesn't say that, but like she knows he got paid to be here. But later on, another member of the team, Lieutenant Gorn, an Imperial mole who's working for the squad outside. Pretty cool. Love an Imperial spy, someone who is actually in the Empire. He's a defector.
What was that one character in Obi-Wan? Her name? That kind of was the same thing.
I love.
Or maybe she was just getting back from a mission or something like that. But it kind of seemed
no.
like
She was brought up in the she joined the Empire.
No, she did. Yeah,
that was a whole thing for her storyline. It was shit. I know her name. Tala.
Yeah.
Tala. Yeah, she was a real one.
That character type is pretty cool. Like it's kind of like Cassian, like what he said. Like they wouldn't even think that it's possible for someone like us to get in their ranks, or like I just love I don't know, all these rebellion characters are so cool.
I just love the spirit of rebellion is so fucking awesome, and this show is just permeating it. But he's also very unhappy about Cassian being here. He's like, what the fuck? Pretty late in the game, don't you think? And Vel's like, we needed another hand, and you know that. And he's like, well, yeah, but I should have been consulted on that. And Vel's like, on that we can agree. She's like, I wasn't even really consulted on this. You know, he just kind of showed up. I have to be okay with that. But eventually, the group goes over the plan, which reveals that much like Kenari, the Empire has mined Aldhani for everything it has. Their plan is seemingly a suicide run up until they explain what their cover would be, the celestial event, the Eye of Aldhani, which
Can't
will
wait
be
to see this.
yeah, it will be awesome.
They're
to
hyping
see.
it up. Like they are hyping it up. Like they're
Yeah.
gonna show. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, it's gonna be gorgeous.
Like
It's
the
gonna be
whole
gorgeous.
mission, the whole time there's gonna be like a fireworks show, a mega meteor shower firework, insane space event.
Little
Going
crystals
on at the
burning up
same
in the
time.
atmosphere and shit. Happens every 3 years to the 100th of a second.
God damn, I'd worship that.
Oh
If
yeah.
I lived on the planet, I'd be like, I would get on my hands and knees. Yeah, that is an
I
interesting.
think he might have even said to the 1,000th of a second. Like
did.
it's like
He did. And I wonder, like, is it
the full.
Is it like that's too like machine like, It's not like, well, I guess no, because like the summer solstice happens at the same. I don't know. I guess.
No, I think it's a natural phenomenon because it sounds like this is something that goes back a very long time. Like this
true.
is not
Okay,
this is not something that started with the Empire.
Worship this for a long time.
Yeah, like the way the river was cut off. It hasn't been a thing of beauty in a long time. It's been really morose and sad because of the fact that the Empire has occupied Aldhani. But
I can't wait to see that happen. That's going to be sick.
Yeah, from the ground, it's a thing of beauty, but from the sky, it's chaos.
So they're going to have to go through it.
Yeah, we're gonna see that.
They said they calculated a path out, but like, no way it's going right.
No, there's something that's gonna go wrong here.
Like, no way. It's just, unless it is just a true beautiful shot of them just like kind of going through it and seeing it. Like, we see it from the ground and then we see it from like inside of it, and then we see it from like way past it, looking back on it. So I don't know. Maybe it is just a nice and easy escape.
I sure hope so. I seriously doubt it, but I sure hope so. But Vel asks if Cassian's in, and he's like, "Yep, let's fucking get it." And then later at the campfire, he's given all that he needs to know. He's like, "You know what one of these things is?" He's like, "Yep, all right. Here's this, here's this, here's this. It's a lot to remember. You got to have it by morning, bud." He's like, "Can I finish my meal first?" And they're like, "All right, smartass. Yep, finish eating, get patched up, and then you got to have all that shit by morning. I'm gonna get watching." And Cassian's like, "Okay, deal."
Like, damn. I mean, I'm getting 200,000 for this, but like, I just expect. I mean, he probably expected just to be a very hands-on right away, sort of being, bang bang sort of thing. Grab the money, get out. He didn't really think he was going to have to go up against an armory. So, I guess it's not what he signed up for, but his reaction was funny. Just
whenever I loved the reaction whenever he was like, "Oh, so that's your cover. Okay. I like that. That's all right. You got me convinced, like that's."
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. Like, honestly, good plan. Like,
it is a great plan. He's
plan.
Like, it's only manned by 40 people. Odds are a lot of them are going to be looking up in the sky, looking at that shit. How are you not going to look at that? But nevertheless, that's where the episode ends for us with Cassian and with the Aldhani team. Not super action packed, but very, very important setup for the arc that I'm expecting we'll get over at least next episode, maybe the next 2 episodes. But really, really dug that. It was a fantastic way to continue Cassian's storyline. Get him introduced to actual rebel fighters. Like Bix and Brasso. They have the spirit of rebellion, but they are not rebellion fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people are fighting within the rebellion. He's introduced to them by someone who is leading the rebellion. He's ready for this shit,
This is his first, like, actual rebellion mission.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're seeing this the first one, which is really
fucking
cool.
love it. I fucking love it. But at some point amidst all of that, we cut back to Luthen making his way back to Coruscant. Yeah. And we see him put on his Coruscant facade. He enters a secret compartment on a ship where he gets like the coolest fucking setup for a closet I've ever seen. Hangers from a galaxy far, far away, pimp as fuck. Throws on a wig that I was like, well, that's not going to look great the way he threw that on. And then they cut to the front of him and it's like perfect. perfectly weaved in and
Hey,
stuff,
we're in
and I'm like,
space, Yeah, we're in space. It can happen.
yeah. But he looks good, and this is like he got money. He got
Yeah,
money because he looked wealthy. And he seems really icked by like having to do this, but it's like he's
got to.
when he
Yeah.
like affects the persona, like he like puts his hand out and he's like, yeah, like I'm getting into character. Like I loved that shit. And it's perfect because he can't break in front of anybody besides those that he deeply trusts. And we do eventually see him at his high-end antique gallery, which is just full of Easter eggs. I don't know if you've taken the time to really look through this.
I didn't. I wanted to.
Ooh,
I like this.
there's
This was the scene I was going to go back to and pause. Like I'm here right now because I was wanting to know.
So we see a Gungan shield like we would in the Phantom Menace. We see Star Killer's armor.
Really?
Yeah, on a wall.
Sick.
We see like pieces of the wall for the mother, father, the father, the son, and the daughter from Rebels, like the World Between Worlds wall. Like there is a lot here. Someone pointed out that there might be Padme's hairpiece from Revenge of the Sith that like held up her hair might be there. It looks like it's very far in the background. Can't really tell. A Mandalorian chest piece for armor. Just a ton of just nerdy Star Wars shit. Like if you're picking that apart, you're loving every second of it. Especially given that we get a classic Star Wars character in the mix during the scene with Mon Mothma, Genevieve O'Reilly showing back up. Ooh-wee!
Talk about what she came in on too. That hot rod land, like total nod to like George. I think here being like, let's give her, the blue.
Let's pimp her ride.
It was a very good blue. The sound of the engine was very crisp here.
Fucking wonderful.
Gangster pulling up in that.
But yeah, they put on an impressive little show here, discussing the gift for her husband's Day of Days, one of Chandrilla's oldest customs. There are many of them. Oh, your history is very rich, my lady. Oh, that is a friendly way to put it, good sir. Very, very funny. I loved this shit. And I recently read, this is one of the reasons I've loved reading the books, Princess Leia of Alderaan. The title is fully Journey to Star Wars The Last Jedi, Leia, Princess of Alderaan, but it is set before A New Hope. It is Leia's introduction to the rebellion. And one of the things she's present for is a dinner with Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, Bria Organa, and all these people sitting down for dinner when Tarkin comes and knocks on the door. And he comes and sits down with them, joins them for a meal, and they have to clean up their act. They have to put on a show to get Tarkin the fuck out of here. So what happens is Bria starts acting like she's drunk off her ass. She starts getting real upset. She goes, "And my husband's frequent visits to Chandrilla, there's no secret why that's happening." And Mon Mothma goes, "If you're gonna accuse me of things, just say it." And and Bail's like, "No, we don't need to do this here." Leia starts crying. Tarkin's like, "Jesus Christ, guys, pull yourselves together." He like gets up and leaves, and then everyone just shuts it the fuck down. They're like, "Leia, it was all the show. We're so sorry." And Leia was like, "I know." Leia was like, "I know, but it was so nice to let this all out. Everything's been so overwhelming."
Damn.
But yeah, so this is something they have to do a lot, like they're always being watched. Mon Mothma's like, "Hey, like this shit's, I'm under siege," as she puts it.
You think that whoever was working at the museum too, has no idea of Luthen? Like, do you think he puts on the act for even her too?
No, I think she's in. Just the way when she pulls up and he's like, she's like, "New driver," like she's in on like distracting him and stuff. Like, we got new coins. There's no shame in looking. Like she at least knows he's up to something important. I don't know if she's fully in or anything, but he's got to trust this assistant pretty faithfully. And
True. I guess it's literally the back room is like a full kind of like, well, I guess no, there's not anything like that just screams rebellion.
No, it was still all antiques, but it was like it was still the back, like we're going back there to have a discussion. And when they get back there and he's like, either you need to pay me my fucking money or you need to get the fuck out, like he like immediately changes and it's like, ooh, goddamn. But Mon says, the money's not the problem. It's there. It's getting harder to move around. Everyone's watching me. They're everywhere. There's a new spy every day at the Senate. I go to the bank. There's new faces. And Luthen points out, you got a new fucking driver. And Mothma's like, yeah, but there's someone I found who can help me. That's Bail Organa.
Okay. It was a line that was like, it's definitely someone we know, is what it seemed like.
That's Bail Organa.
Drop. Yeah.
I think it's got to be, because I don't think we're talking about the building of the rebellion here. It seems like it's Mon Mothma, Luthen. That's the thing, though, is that I've always been under the impression that Bail and Brio were kind of on the ground floor of it. But I guess this would still be the ground floor. Like they haven't launched anything. They haven't built an army. Like they're not on Yavin yet. I don't think Yavin's a thing yet. It's there. They just haven't made it their base. They didn't like build a planet.
Come into existence in 5 years.
Yeah, right. But but yeah, so they keep butting heads a little bit, and Luthen ultimately is like, all right, we need funding, not more people to know about it. And then he's like, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and give you this on a loan. She's like, damn it, man, I don't think the conversation was fucking done.
Yeah, he did end it very abruptly.
Well, and it's like, you can't be back there for I think he was like, we're like, timing wise, it'd be fishy for us to be back here any longer. That's the end of the conversation for as long as we have now.
He's very calculated. Yeah, I mean, everything he does or they have to be, all of them. Like, that's,
and
I didn't even think about that.
The little double entendre he gives her after he's like, yeah, the gift's a loan. If he doesn't like it, bring it back. He's like, it's a daring choice, but I trust you'll have the courage to turn back if it should be a bit much. I was like, oh, God. But we follow Mothma home to some beautiful shots here. The visuals of her, like the shot where it like zooms through some sort of arch as it follows her into a room. I was like, oh God, that was gorgeous. She's got
her house, like
dude.
Our house. I don't even know what to call that. Apartment.
Yeah, right.
Penthouse, mansion.
Pretty much. She got servants running around and shit.
Yeah.
But
gold everywhere too. Oh
yeah, she's loaded. Chandrilla don't fuck around. But her husband's an insufferable prick. He's setting up for a dinner party filled with her political enemies. And he's like, oh, why does everything have to be about politics? Oh, you're talking about injustice in the galaxy. I'm rich. I don't have to worry about any of that. Fuck you, man. That's exactly what he's like, Man,
this dude
I'm not political.
This dude just automatically a dick. They did a great job of making you hate him very, very quickly.
He gonna die.
Yeah,
he gonna die.
I got a feeling.
But yeah, he not very sympathetic towards Mon, because she's like, yo, these are my fucking nemesis. Don't pull up with them. She notes that the people from this sector that is getting leached, I think it was the Gorman sector, which is also noted in Rebels, as there is a massacre of the Gorman people later on, and it's what makes Mothma go, I'm resigning from the Imperial Senate. I'm good. Fuck this. I'm going full-blown rebellion. Y'all can fuck with me.
Damn.
Yeah, like
Yeesh.
Yeah, so just a bunch of little through lines here throughout the story, which is really, really cool. But he's like, oh, don't worry. You're not seated near any of them. You're at the other end of the table with the boring people. These people are fun.
Yeah, straight up calling his wife boring, like to
like,
her
Jesus
face.
Christ, dude.
Man.
He notes that perhaps they can laugh about it over a third course while all these other people are starving in the Gorman sector.
Slam dunk, fucking got on his head.
Yeah, he's like, why must everything be boring and sad? Why does everything have to be about politics? Why are you bringing up the atrocities in the galaxy? Well, because what the fuck are we doing here, man? We have the power to do something about it. I'm literally in the Senate. I am a senator. What the fuck are you talking about? Why must everything be about politics? Why must everything be boring and sad? Well, because we live under the Empire, fuckboy. Everything is boring and sad.
Damn. Yeah,
Not the happiest marriage.
No. And wonder, like, is it? I don't know. Like, why? Has it always been like this, or has it just been maybe like
strained by the imperial rule, maybe?
Which would make even more sense for like
she's getting radicalized even further and further into her beliefs and stuff, and he's just like, I couldn't give less of a shit, man. I'm rich. I live on Coruscant. This doesn't affect me.
It kind of has the Cassian viewpoint initially, where it's like, do you rather live under the Empire? And he's like, well, it's at least living, like I'm at least alive and
exactly.
not fighting every day, blah blah.
But
blah,
it also
whatever.
just like Mon has the opportunity to just turn a blind eye, live a very comfortable life. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have to worry about any of this, which is what makes it admirable that she does. Like she does put herself at risk. She risks her life for this cause.
Yeah.
Every fucking day. I have a feeling we got another potential rat in Perrin. Perrin is his name.
Oh, what was the previous? Tim. It was fuck Tim initially. What's
fuck
this guy's
Perrin.
name? Fuck
Perrin.
Perrin. Ah, his name even sucks. Yeah. Fuck Perrin.
Fuck Perrin. But yeah, that was kind of the end with Mon Mothma there. I was so fucking glad to have her back. Genevieve O'Reilly fucks in that role. It's insane. She was another choice for me where I was like, I almost chose her. And I'm tempted to go with her for my favorite character.
But I was that's where I was leaning, because like her pulling up and her just instantly being like already on like the rebellion side, and like, just getting her early years. It's just, I don't know, it was super cool just to see her here.
It's nice. Yeah.
As this a character that will follow? Like,
I'll keep thinking on it. For at least, yeah, like Mon Mothma will be a part of this because we are watching the founding of the rebellion, So I'm excited. We'll be back on Coruscant. We will get more there. We've seen promotion with her at the Senate, so like we're going to get it all, we're getting it all back, baby. Haven't seen that Senate room since fucking Palpatine versus Yoda in Revenge of the Sith. So very excited for that. But also on Coruscant, we got the ISB, the Imperial Security Bureau. The CIA, if the corporate security are the fucking cops, they are the if those are the cops, these are the feds.
There was one more character in consideration, and it's another Game of Thrones actor, which is cool,
Qyburn.
And I've always neglected the evil side, and the bad side, but as far as the just dickish side of the Empire goes, like this guy's pretty cool. I'm not.
Yeah, Major Partagaz.
God dang it! Why is his name kind of? It's kind of cool. Kind of like Perrin, or what was? I already forgot.
Yeah, Perrin. You got it right.
Yeah, it's kind of like Perrin along that line, but Partagaz, it's cooler than Perrin.
But I really do love the introduction to the ISB here. This like council where they're going around asking about planets. He's like, so what the fuck's going on here? All right, you don't have a good answer for me. Fuck you. I'll put someone else on it. How about you? And the first one he asks about is Arvala 6. We are familiar with an Arvala, but it's Arvala 7.
Ooh.
Arvala 7 is where Grogu was hidden.
Yo.
Yeah.
Was
Interesting.
he just stashed one planet away? Like,
Right.
a last ditch kind of like, oh, what's the closest little thing I could send this escape pod to?
Right.
Because, I mean, was he chilling there for 50 years? No. He was
Probably not.
not just chilling there.
He had to have been fed.
I was gonna
that
say
man
there was
eats.
probably a lot of Easter eggs in here. They mentioned so many planets and
Yeah, we got
different
Arvalo.
things.
We got. I mean, we get pretty quickly to Morlana. We got Ryloth mentioned. We know them as the Twi'leks. But yeah, lots of little bits there.
Man, he made everyone in this room feel stupid. Like,
yeah, he summed
God,
all of them. He was like,
man.
"All right, can anyone tell me what the fuck it is we do here?" And Deidre, like, the seemingly the central imp that we will be following, Lieutenant Deidre Miro, the blonde lady, seems to be our central figure for the Empire.
Lady Narc. We got
Lady Narc.
two narcs. Narc and Narcess.
Boy
Hopefully they
Narc,
just
Girl
get together. Maybe they get together.
Boy Narc and Girl Narc. But
there we go.
Yeah, he's like, can anyone tell me what the fuck it is we do here? And Deidre gives them the perfect answer, exactly what it says in the ISB handbook. This is our mission statement. And he's like, completely fucking wrong. Yeah, so we're healthcare providers. We find what is wrong with the body, whether it be in or out, germs, viruses, and we get rid of it. That is what we do.
Real Empire outlook on, like,
yeah,
straight up. That's like, or kind of even more of like a Agent Smith, like Matrix. Humans are parasites, like kind of an evil outlook there. That's not a, I mean, that's I don't know. I mean, I guess that's kind of like some corporate outlooks too. That it happens in the real world.
Yeah.
But, definitely, I don't know.
But yeah, the mention of Ferrix perks her up. She's like, oh, interesting. Let me look into this. She finds some stuff about the N95 Starpath unit that was stolen. So it was her base that Cassian apparently walked onto and stole a Starpath unit from. And then at some point, but maybe
Boy Narc and Girl Narc do get together.
It's a possibility. They work together to...
I was thinking of it as a joke, but like, she doesn't get the jurisdiction to do anything, but who else would have better information than the source itself? As Boy Narc could just be like, yeah, I was on that mission, and now I'm kicked out. He left. He's gone. Or back with Ma.
He's on Coruscant.
Yeah. So, dude?
Yeah. He's on Coruscant.
They better not make Narc babies, man. I swear.
No, fuck the Narc babies.
I swear, they need to end that bloodline there.
Yeah, but speaking of the Ferrix incident, the Lieutenant Blevin, as we come to know him, is sent to Ferrix to talk to the corporate security. He's like, he meets with Narc, Bootlicker, and Jan Royce. And he's like,
was not having it.
No,
man.
And the fact that Bootlicker raised his hand and he was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm not even going to humor that.
They all got slam dunked. They just absolutely...
Sir, I wasn't even here. I didn't even know of this. He's like, fucking exactly, dude. You thought that was going to help you?
That's, true. Well, I mean, is it I mean, like, he was on a meeting with all of them, though. Like, he had to be there, you know?
Right, but it's like it's a lack of control over your employees. It's a lack of, it's just like, you weren't aware of this happening.
Yeah, that's true.
You're in charge. It's on you, you know? Like, you at least take part of the blame. And he goes up into Narc's face and he goes, you, all proud and shit, you've rung the final bell on corporate independence. From now on, Morlana, that's Imperial controlled, okay? Not only did he lose his job trying to avenge the lives of two of his coworkers who got killed on the job, he got a few more of them killed, a few more of them badly injured, and all of them fired. None of them have jobs anymore. Good job, Narc. You did good. Bet you're real fucking happy with yourself.
Yeah. I mean, he's I thought he was overreacting a little bit, but like, no, he's he's that mad.
Yeah.
I mean, what a complete and utter failure, and that brings me no more brings me a lot of joy.
Oh, I'm so happy. He's got to go home and live with Ma, but he
I
travels
didn't
back.
even put that together. He's
Yeah.
going like he has nowhere else to go. Oh my
He
god!
travels home to Coruscant. His mom lives in like the Coruscanti underground. You know, like this is where we come to know as like the seedy, poor people area. And I don't know if you noticed him not touching things with his bare hands. He used his sleeves to punch in like codes and stuff.
Sick.
Yeah, this dude's just dripping with disgust.
100%. Oh, I guess more of that. I just thought, fellow germaphobes. It's just nice to see out in the world every now and then. Not that it's more along the lines of he doesn't like the filth, and like it's more of the metaphor there. So I take it back.
He's in the Coruscanti underworld, and he's like, these disgusting people. Let me cover up my fingers when I punch in this code. But yeah, so he goes to his doorstep, finds his mom. She smacks the shit out of him, then cries and hugs him. All the while, he looks fucking miserable. He looks terrible. It's fucking fantastic. I loved every moment of this. It made me so happy to see him so fucking sad. Fuck Narc. But I love, like, I want to know. Now I'm curious though. What the fuck did he do to make his mom so mad? Did he just leave in the middle of the night one night and never come back?
That's what I'm assuming. He's like, I gotta do what's right. I gotta join the Force. Yeah, I'm gonna do it tonight. And I don't know. I feel like he just got up and left.
Corporate security is hiring, Ma. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna follow my dream. Son, you can't be a cop. They've pushed us down all our fucking lives. Like, we're in the Coruscanti underworld. I don't know if you noticed, but this is kind of terrible for us. And he's like, I gotta help from the system from the inside, Ma. And then he's just a piece of shit out there. He's just a dirt out there.
Do we get a redemption arc?
No. I don't think so. I think he's just going to steer further and further into his thing.
Yeah, no.
It's going to be like, I think they are going for a story where, like, there are network TV shows, if this is set in a real world setting, where this dude is the protagonist. This dude is the good guy. He is the main character.
Yeah.
He is going to go full what he thinks is hero mode, and he's going to fucking die. And in the eyes of the Empire, it will be, oh, he died a hero. But to us, it'll be fucking good. He was an imp. He was a fascist. Fuck that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Because I was thinking, I'm like, is it better to see him as evil and him just go full evil and die? Or is it better for him to realize that he is like full blown and then actually turn around on that and maybe like in his dying moment like sacrifices himself for Cassian?
I'd be cool with that, but I think we're going for something that it's like a fascism is good for nobody, even those who believe in it. That's even fair. Those who abide by it, like it will eat him alive, and it will spit him out, it'll chew him up, and that'll be it. And he will die. He will die believing in it. He will die for that cause. But nevertheless,
either way, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully Narc dies by the end of this shit. That's just all we can hope for. But meanwhile, Miro has been doing all in her power to get access to the Ferrex reports with her sidekick. But Blevin is like, yeah, no, not going to let that happen. I can't do that. Hey, be sure you don't climb over my head, all right? Don't look down, fucking bitch. Like, a lot of misogyny in the workplace here. A lot of it.
But freaking Partagaz over here kind of like getting real and being like, yo, I know it's completely unfair, and I know you got to deal with all this shit, but like, come on, you got to prove yourself still. You know, like,
yeah, he's dealing with 6 sectors. His reports are in. You got 2 and yours aren't. Like, come on now. We're in here wasting our time. Go ahead and get your shit done. And frankly, I do like what you're doing out here. You've done a good job. I'll give you some more shit like that. So it is interesting because he's kind of the boss that like
he's a dick, but with compassion somehow.
Well, he gives you just enough to make you feel good about coming back to work for him.
Yeah, even though these people are absolute narcs here, he's the least narky feeling. You know, he feels the most comfortable. And I don't know that's why I was considering him as my favorite character, just because it was, you know, an interesting take on like someone who could have just been an outright dick the whole time and been just, you know, the character that like could have been narc, but to an even higher degree, you know, or whatever.
Well, he's got like he's a little bit more nuanced. He's got a little bit more going on there, and it is interesting. I think he's just he's a lot of talk. I don't think his whole thing earlier. We identify illness, germs, disease, and we get rid of it. She's like, I think this is an example, a sign that rebellion is stirring. I've got all this shit. I'm sure of it. And he's like, nah, nope, no way. He's got a little bit of the hubris thing going on. He's like, we're too good at our jobs for rebellion to be stewing.
That's true, but it was just a couple thefts, and I guess in their minds they're looking for like legitimate revolution. You know, like she had 3 thefts. Was her like evidence, and that's what he told her. He was like, once it is real legitimate evidence, I think that's just like their focus, their scope is a lot larger.
Riddle me this, Batman.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's Blevin who goes, I think these are signs of rebellion. I think we've got rebellion stewing. Is he a little bit more susceptible?
That's what you mean by all talk.
Yeah. Ooh. Like if it was Blevin who was like, I think these are signs of rebellion, and he's like, I will look into that. You know, but it's Deidre. She just got here. We're gonna hire more people like you. You know,
he did kind of turn a little bit at the end there.
Yeah, it was like,
yeah, you're right. You know, maybe I'm giving him a little too much credit here.
He puts like, and that's the thing. He puts off a really kind of charismatic vibe. Like he's like, you want, like, I don't trust him, obviously. He's a fucking narc, but, like, he goes about his job in a way that is the least narky of all these narcs. But nevertheless.
Something, right? Yeah, it's got to, I don't know. It's got to.
There's a reason there's a reason he is the leader of ISB agents in the Empire. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they don't just pick anyone for that.
We're talking Callus from Rebels. That was an ISB agent. Moff Gideon was an ISB agent during the Night of 1,000 Tears. Like, on Mandalore. Okay. Gideon was a fucking... Like, this dude was in charge of them. Hey, man. He ain't to be fucked with. I'm gonna tell you that right now. There's more there with the fucking Pantagaz or whatever the fuck is Partagaz. But thus,
I'm actually flipping. His name sucks.
Partagaz.
It's worse than Partagaz. It is worse than Perrin.
But yeah, so what's interesting though is that we know it was definitely a launching us in a direction type of episode, introducing us to more players, showing us some more that's going on. It was damn good, I'll tell you that. But it was not. It wasn't as complete as we would typically like a single episode of television to be.
Yeah.
And it'll be a fun rating. So for our rating, we've got enjoyment, we've got genre, and we've got critical rating. All these are out of 10. Enjoyment's just subjective, how much that connected with us on an emotional level or any level. It's completely subjective, whatever the fuck. Genre, that's that space fantasy, Star Wars, spy thriller shit, and we are on one this week, buddy. It was fucking good. And then critical. That's all things considered: writing, cinematography, how it's made, acting, soundtrack. The score was incredible this week. I have a feeling we're gonna have another pretty good episode on our hands. But before we get there, do we have to declare all our favorites? Do we have all that in?
Yeah, I think character-wise, I just have to go with Mon Mothma. Like I can't do Luthen 3 times in a row. I gave the
Yeah,
performance, and I think that's more of what I'm focusing on is the performance that he had to put on of Luthen and the museum, salesman type. So
I get you.
for character, I'm gonna go Mon Mothma.
I
And
support that.
then
I support that. For character, for me, I'm gonna, since you went Mon Mothma, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna go Vel. I really liked Vel. I thought she was a great introduction, a character that I'm really excited to see back next week. An actress that I was familiar with and really, really enjoyed watching in a new role, and a heroic role for me. I love the rebel leaders, so like I absolutely loved that shit. That was too damn good, I liked her character a lot. I think I got to go Vel for the character. I am going Stellan Skarsgård as Luthen for the performance because that man's just fucking crazy in this role. And like this was his best episode yet, like
oh yeah,
I think I already came close to choosing him before. And then this
you
was
did.
just,
You had him as your favorite character in episode 3, but performance, yeah, this is the first that he's shown up for you.
Gotcha. I think I ended up going. I thought about giving it to him last episode, and then I went with Cassian. But yeah, man, this
I
was a
don't know
great
what my
fucking
favorite
performance.
scene was. We both need a scene.
All right,
and you need a line as well.
my favorite scene is Mon Mothma and Luthen in the antique shop. That was such a strong part of the episode. We were back on Coruscant. We were back with Mon Mothma. We got some real spy shit going on there. It was just too good, and it was full of little Easter eggs. I love that shit. It was just a really, really great way to reintroduce us to that character and introduce us to the Coruscanti side of Luthen. So I really dug that.
I'll go with a Luthen scene, and it was Luthen talking to Cassian before he left to go to Coruscant.
That was another option for me.
Kind of like the final spark in like, hey, like I know you're gonna do this. I'm giving you all these outs if you want them. You're not gonna do it. I know that this is in you. And I don't know, being that like rebellion mentor for him.
Yeah, I dug that. But yeah, I think my line would probably also have to be the I imagine line. That was too crazy. It was too good of a line. Specifically, I'll go a little bit more specific with it. I'll go like I imagine whatever you tell me or tell yourself, you will die fighting these bastards. Like that was my favorite line of the episode. I think it's gotta be. Luthen.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, whenever you were just going scene by scene, I'm like, no, that has to be my line.
It was. It started it so fucking good. Like it was such a great way to kick off the episode. And like I almost went with like scene wise, I almost went with Vel and Luthen, their walk together. Like I loved that sequence. The visuals there were gorgeous, but I mean, the museum shit with Mon Mothma and Luthen was just too fucking cool. I loved that shit. So I think that's what I had to go with. Are you ready to throw a rating at it though?
Oh yeah, I think I'm ready. I've been thinking enjoyment wise, and I don't think it was last episode. I don't think that it's a 10.
I go
necessarily.
I go 9. I go better than the second. I think I liked it more than the second episode, but not a perfect 10. Like when I did watch it the first time, I was a little like, "Oh, that's it? Come on, give me something."
But then you realize what we got, and it's like it's the start of all the spy stuff. You can't have spy stuff without suspense. It can't just be like, oh, we're going here, we're breaking out, and it's bang bang bang. You got to have some suspense and stuff build, and have time for stuff to happen.
100%.
And I was right there at a 9.
Good. I'm
but
glad
as
we're
far
glad we're
as the spy
genre-wise.
and stuff goes. Like, it is doing it perfectly. Like, this is
that's a 10. I think that's a 10 genre-wise. I think it's got to be. This is kind of the standard for what I want the show to be spy-wise when it came to Cassian being introduced. He's going undercover. He's Clem. They don't know who he is. Luthen back on Coruscant. Mon Mothma and him having the secret conversation in the back room. Like, this is the type of shit I'm looking for. I feel like I'm under siege, I feel like I'm being watched. I go to the bank and everyone's got new people are there every time. It's spy thriller out the ass, bro. This shit is hitting. So yeah, I think I gotta go. I think I gotta go 10 out of 10 there. But critically, this will be an interesting one, to be sure, because I think it's probably least complete story. Not least complete, but not super complete. It was a great starting point, great introduction to a lot of new characters. Was visually stunning. The expansiveness of this. This show continues to wow me in terms of being familiar in terms of Star Wars, but so unique and singular visually. Its visual language is, like I said last time, I think the closest thing we can compare it to is Rogue One, but it's different than Rogue One. It's so much more involved.
We're getting so much close-ups of how technology works in Star Wars, like their iPads and their computers. Like, we're getting legitimate. I don't know. I don't know why I'm noticing this more, but like people like reading a tablet and being like, "This is this," and we're not seeing English or anything that makes sense to a computer screen that we see. It's like, it's insane. But we're seeing like so many different versions of that. Like at the IS, or what's the acronym?
ISB,
the ISB. Like how their tablets and their like little buttons worked and how they were looking through stuff, and like I just love that it's not just like static stuff in the background. They're like actually focusing on it, and like it's showing how it works in universe sort of thing. So I know a lot of shots were like it does have its own very distinct style, and I don't know if that's just this is the new Star Wars now. If that's like just how they're going about it because we have the technology to, but. I was trying to think of if the story was like complete, because Castian, it's like kind of left a little open. Like it's
left
just
very
him,
open.
Yeah, it's just him like being a little more convinced and being like, okay, like I'll do this, but he is still getting paid 200,000. So like we don't know if he's fully in it for the rebellion quite yet, but he's gonna get there.
I mean, everything about this episode is left open. It's a very opening episode to like. It felt like another premiere. Like that's like it made the first three feel even more like a prologue. This is what got us here. Now here's the rest of the story. It felt like another premiere. Like I feel like you almost. I mean, you couldn't have. I love the first three episodes, but like I would have been convinced that if they started the first episode with Luthen escaping with Cassian and like. This is how they just started the show. I don't know that I would have batted an eye. I think I would have been like, "Whoa, great premiere!"
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't bad per se.
No,
that's
not at all.
The biggest gripe is that it's left open, but it's kind of
that's all right.
Point of the episode,
it's definitely the first of like an arc. Pretty well directed. Really well acted. Visually stunning. The soundtrack fucked. I think I landed about an 8.
Yeah, right around
critically.
Yeah, I mean that puts the episode at a 9 out of 10. That ties it with the premiere. The only thing that switched was the enjoyment and genre were flipped. The premiere was a 10 in enjoyment and gave a 9 in enjoyment here, and then vice versa for the genre.
Feels fitting.
So yeah, tied with that, and then a little step down from last episode, which last episode fucked on a different level.
It's one of my favorite episodes of Star Wars ever now.
Yeah, but better.
I've watched it like 5 or 6 times.
It's so good. It's so good. I guess if it's in like 3 episode arcs, like maybe we get an episode like that. Like at episode 6, when this arc ends, we get like another. Everything coming together.
I think it can kind of be something we expect a little, like at least on the Cassian storyline sort of side of things. Maybe not so much with Mon Mothma stuff, Feels a little
Maybe
bit
that's
more.
why they released the first 3 like that, actually.
Yeah,
Just to be like, it is 3. This is like a Clone Wars type show.
it's
Like,
an
you
inst-
will be
it's.
getting arcs.
I think
Um,
so. Sure.
hmm,
It's just a matter of whether they do consistently 3-episode arcs, because I feel like what they set up for Cassian this episode could be done next week. They could very well do that entire mission next episode, and that just be that. So like it's a matter of will we get 3-episode arc there, or are we just going to go ahead and this is a 2-episode arc, this is another 2-episode arc, and then another 3-episode arc, like that sort of thing.
But yeah, I mean, 9 out of 10. That sounds.
That's damn good.
Yeah, I mean this show is it's been an absolute blast to look forward to. Like it's now I have this today. I got to wake up, got to watch some Star Wars tomorrow. I get to watch She-Hulk and Lord of the Rings, and then it's only like a couple days for House of Dragon or House of the Dragon. I always forget
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon. But,
House of the Dragon, yeah. I mean, Sundays are nuts for me. House of the Dragon, Rick and Morty, Bob's Burgers, all going on now. Abbott Elementary on Tuesdays, Andor on Wednesdays, She-Hulk on Thursdays. Like, I'm eating right now. TV show-wise, I'm eating. I'm watching Better Call Saul in my free time right now. Just finished season 1 today.
Gotta start that. I'm getting so many TikToks of Better Call Saul, and I have no idea. Like, yeah, he has some cool lines, but like, I don't know any of the context, so it's not actually like landing hard,
No,
like,
yeah, it's like first season's solid. I'll give you that. But this is the Andor after party. Fuck it, I won't talk about Better Call Saul. If you would head to patreon.com/CoroBloom, where you'll find over 40 hours of exclusive content. I'm gonna go ahead and get a bunch of content out this weekend. I missed last week's poll list and book review. Gonna double up this week with last week's poll list, this week's poll list, and 2 or 3 book reviews. And I think we're also going to get a little conversation in on the Deadpool 3 news at some point. I feel like that's going to be one I'm going to need to talk through because I'm very excited about that. So patreon.com/CoroBloom, $3 a month, very much so helps the podcast. Please do that. Head to Twitter, follow at PennyBloomPod, follow on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast. Leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you are listening. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure to have you. Remember, peace, love, and bloom. And keep the after party rolling next week with Andor After Party number 5.